Welcome to action from the 2011 Asia Pacific Rally Championship. As the teams gather for round one, the Malaysian Rally based in Johor, there's a 100% increase in team entries and competitors for 2011. New initiatives from the APRC organisers have seen the introduction of a junior cup for the region's young drivers and the team trophy that allows guest drivers to score points for the team's award. Last year's main contenders have returned to continue their battle, with 2010 champion Katsu Taguchi from Japan and his hard-charging teammate Indian Gaurav Gill driving for the MRF team in Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10s.
Yeah, always tough event because the road condition and also this year the more competitors in.
Malaysia's been the trickiest rally and definitely by far the most physical as far as stamina and because you keep sweating all day long and you have no control over how much you sweat because it's so humid here and it's so hot that sometimes the cabin temperatures can go over 60 degrees.
Proton is back with much improved Satria Neo S2000 cars for Scotsman Alister McRae and Australian Chris Atkinson. Pre-event testing reveals the cars are much easier to drive, with refinements to the engine and suspension.
Well, there's quite a field in front of you and behind you. There's obviously good competition as well.
Yeah, it looks like even tougher competition than last year, and guys like Gaurav Gill are going faster, and Taguchi's always fast, and so it's not going to be easy. And of course, Alister's going to be one of my main rivals. You always want to beat your teammate.
You seem to be very confident after testing that the car was good in terms of suspension and engine.
Yeah, it's a big improvement, definitely. You know, the suspension's a lot better. The engine's improved at the low range, mid-range torque and power's up. So that's going to help. As always, the driver wants more, but you know, for sure the car's coming in the right direction, and the boys have done a really good job at Proton.
The Japanese Cusco team returns with Yayu Sumiyama entered in the Asia Cup and Indonesian Rifat Sungkar joining the team for the full championship.
Rifat, new colours.
Yes, I change colour every single year. It means it's a good sign.
Right.
Yeah. Now we're driving the Pertamina Cusco Racing, which is Cusco team, joint venture with Pertamina, so we have both, Pertamina Cusco Racing.
8 teams have entered the APRC Asia Cup, and they include Rafiq Udaya from Malaysia, MRU, Japanese drivers Masaaki Hatano in an ex-Toshi Arai Subaru, and from the Hasupro team, Tomohide Hasegawa. A further development is Cusco's partnership with Proton to build and develop the new 1.6-litre Proton Satria, aimed at young drivers entering the Junior Cup, an APRC competition that will be held at 4 rounds: Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand and Japan. For the Malaysian event, 2 Japanese drivers will debut the cars, Akira Bamba and Kazuki Takashino. This Satria has suddenly also generated interest in the 2-wheel drive cup, and the first entry in this category is Malaysian Guna Raju, driving a very standard Proton. In the main 4-wheel drive competition, New Zealander Brian Green returns to the full APRC. For Malaysia, the veteran will drive an MRU Subaru. Good news for the championship is the addition of the Southeast Motor Kumo team from China, equipped with the latest Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10s. British ace Mark Higgins is its lead driver. Then there's 2 Chinese drivers, young improver Hao Yuan and team owner Fan Fan, a well-known entertainer in China. As always, Malaysia puts on a fantastic opening ceremony with lots of colour and cultural activities. Stage 1 is right after the start podium, and as we see from McRae's onboard, the organisers have put together an excellent opener.
Long, medium plus. 70. Flat left and flat right tight.
McRae looks very fast on this first test, but ends up only third quickest. The Scotsman is pipped at the post by Sumiyama and Sumkar in the Cusco Pertamina cars. Equal fastest and 0.4 of a second quicker, respectively. The first real test, though, begins the next morning with Kai Tak. 32 kilometres in the heat and humidity is an incredibly tough way to start off 2 days rallying. The stage is typically Malaysian, with some very slow corners, followed by high-speed crests and dips through the trees.
Medium 5, left and 3 plus right.
The tracks are lined by deep ditches, and to add to the hazards, there's the energy-sapping heat and humidity.
Into 4 plus right.
Let's enjoy the view from Atkinson's roof camera. The Proton Satria loves these conditions, and it shows in the timesheets, with the fastest time for the stage. By winning the stage, Atkinson races into a 4-second lead.
I thought I was going too slow. I was being safe and neat, but the time looks okay, so can't complain.
McRae makes it a Proton 1-2. He's second fastest, even though he is concerned about a blocked radiator.
Yeah, I mean, good car. It's very, very slippy in places. Car's overheating a little bit too much, but the rad, well, you said the rad's full of dirt, so we'll need to go and clear that.
MRF drivers Gill and Taguchi are third and fourth, respectively, with Gill 16 seconds behind Atkinson and on the limit to stay in touch.
Into 4 plus left, 40, turn 1 minus left, slippy. Into 4 right, late.
We overheated our brakes a little bit, I think too much on the handbrake. So we're struggling for the half of the stage with I had to pump the brakes on the straight, so it's overheated.
Taguchi finishes Kai Tak 22 seconds off the lead and ups his pace in stage 3 to keep in touch with the front runners, only to go straight on at this slippery corner and get stuck. The Japanese driver does get going again, but now he's behind Sumkar in the Cusco car. Following behind this pair is Brian Green, who comes across a huge rock in the middle of the road.
Rock. Okay, narrow 2 left. 80. Hope it's a good subguard. Oh, they've got it too.
Somehow the Kiwi gets away with it, but not so Taguchi, who's smashed straight into it, forcing his retirement. With no time to test before the event, Mark Higgins is 5th fastest on Kai Tak, but is settling into a good rhythm on stage 3 when this happens.
80. Oh, left wall. Oh no.
We had a problem with the pace note coming over the crest. Unfortunately, we didn't get the right pace note out. It was called as a left, and it should have been a left 4. So it was wrong.
With some help from the media, Higgins rolls the battered car back onto its wheels and hopes to restart the next day. McRae finds the Satria getting way too hot in stage 3.
50, another alarm. 50, turn hairpin right, water temp 104, turn hairpin right. 30, turn hairpin left.
McRae and co-driver Bill Hayes are lucky to keep going, but have lost over 3 minutes and have dropped to 5th overall. To add insult to injury, teammate Atkinson passes them in the stage. Gaurav Gill is trying very hard to stay in touch with the Protons, but is still gradually falling back. After 3 stages and nearly 60 kilometres of competition, the MRF driver is 38 seconds behind leader Atkinson.
Turn short 2 minus right.
The Proton driver is fully in control and prior to stage 4 has time to talk to our cameraman.
He had 2 long stages, 32 and 24 or something, but so slow, and the time to do them was over 25 minutes. So tiring and tight and narrow, so you don't get any wind, but I guess that's what we train for.
And problems with, it looks like, your teammate?
Yeah, we had a bit of an overheating engine because of the grass in the stage, and I guess he had the same problem. He was slowed down and we passed him 5-10k from the end, so it's a bit of a shame because he was going well as well, so would have been nice, but I'm sure he'll get back a bit.
Cusco teammates Sunkar and Sumiyama are 3rd and 4th respectively. But stage 4 proves the undoing of Sumiyama, who gets his Mitsubishi stuck in one of the many deep ditches that line the Malaysian roads. It's a double blow for Cusco when Sunkar runs out of fuel on the way back to service and retires.
Until stage 4, we already in 3rd position. And it seems the Malaysian weather is really extreme. The car drinks more fuel than we expected. I don't know if there's some problem in the tank, or I don't know, they still analyze what's going on. But yeah, we're just being sportive. We're here. We are finally here, but I think we will withdraw from the event and continue tomorrow.
With all the carnage and crashes in the morning, only 11 competitors are still running. In contrast, the afternoon stages are relatively uneventful and there are no further changes to the running order. Malaysian Gunaraju easily leads the A6 class in his completely unmodified Pennzoil Proton. Tomohide Hasegawa has an overshoot, damaging the front of the Hasepro Mitsubishi, but pushes on, determined to get to the finish. Fellow Japanese driver Kosuke Takashino is 9th and more than 6 minutes behind his teammate Akira Bamba, both driving identical Cusco Protons. Bamba is well in control and easily leads both the junior category and the 2-wheel drive class. Mohammed Rafiq has had gearbox and clutch problems through the day, and with the resulting time loss is now over 24 minutes behind the leaders.
Yes, after SS3 I was losing my clutch, and we found out there was a leak in the gearbox oil seal, and it was wetting the clutch and we were slipping the gears.
With both of his teammates out of the event, Fan continues to run at pace, but mindful that he must now finish to score team points. Aided by local co-driver Douglas Pickering, Aki Hartono is driving well beyond his limited experience, easily handling the rough conditions and putting in some very respectable times in his Subaru.
Too hot to drive.
Yeah, very, very demanding.
And the slip here and dangerous and it's tricky. Yeah. I'm nervous.
While he had the earlier scare with a rock, Brian Green has continued through the afternoon with no further dramas and is well placed for a good result in 4th overall. It's a frustrating afternoon for McRae as the Scot is forced to drive the Proton according to the temperature gauge, with a leaking head gasket causing the engine to overheat. 3rd would be a good result for the team if they can just coax the car to the finish. Gill has pushed to stay in touch with leader Atkinson, but with his teammate out and so many other retirements, the Indian has now backed off to preserve his place. Considering all the dramas for those behind, Atkinson has had a pretty uneventful day.
Yeah, we're pretty happy. Obviously, it's great for Proton leading the home event, and we've got a bit of a gap, so hopefully we can hold Girav off tomorrow. We've had a few small problems, but obviously other people have more problems, and we've kept out of trouble.
What is the plan for tomorrow?
Obviously, we've got to think about the bonus points as well, but the main thing is to finish and get a win for Proton.
Unfortunately, we had small brake issues, but it's so hot there. I don't know what's happening. The brakes keep overheating all the time. So I think we just need to cool down on the brakes and I think maybe not drive that hard in the beginning of the stage.
Yeah, we basically just had to drive to the temperature of the car. I would say the head gasket's on its way out, so if it was starting to warm up, you know, we're backing off a bit and then putting water in the car, you know, between stages. So I hope they're having a look at it just now, see if they can do anything. If not, you know, if we could just drive round and get third would be a great result. So try for that tomorrow.
As always, the Malaysian Rally is one of the trickiest and hardest to finish, and only 11 cars remain in the event. Super Rally rules allow Day 1 retirees Sunkar, Sumiyama and Higgins to return and go for bonus points. After the break, we see if Proton can win its home event. Starting day 2, there are big gaps between the competitors, and while McRae pushes on in the morning, in the afternoon, with the finish in sight, he decides to back off and preserve the car. Even so, he still picks up bonus points as the third quickest driver on day 2. Second quickest and collecting bonus points for the final day is a restarting Mark Higgins. Fastest though is fellow restarter Rifat Sunkar, who shows what might have been had he not run out of fuel on the first day.
Yeah, my ref guys are looking at your times and going, wow.
Oh yeah? That's an achievement. That's a good point. Beginning of the year.
First time in Walk Drive, right?
Yeah, first time since 2006, maybe this is the first time. It takes a while to be there.
While Sunkar makes a successful return, teammate Sumiyama has another disastrous day. Unable to come to terms with the Malaysian roads and crashing off yet again. Cusco has more success in the two-wheel drive class, with its drivers Takashino and Bamba 9th and 8th respectively, and easily winning that category and the junior division in their Proton Satria 1600 cars.
I'm really happy coming to back here and really tough rally.
I'm glad to finish this rally. This rally is my first international rally as a driver.
Proton also shines in the A6 class, with Raju bringing his Satria home first.
Yeah, good results. Great to be at the finish. See you in Australia.
Although slowed by an overheating engine on the final day, Hasegawa finishes 10th.
No, overheat engine, slow down. I will do my best.
Malaysian Rally champion Rafiq brings his MRU Subaru across the finish line 7th overall and 4th in the Asia Cup event. Just ahead in 6th is Fan, the Chinese driver picking up victory in the local Malaysian Rally Championship. For Aki Hartano, finishing 5th overall and 3rd in the Asia Cup race on his first international event is an outstanding result, and the young Japanese driver has every right to celebrate. In a borrowed MRU car, Green also has an exceptional result. A former champion in Malaysia, the Kiwi finishes a fine 4th.
Well, we had a few things to overcome. We drove the car for 2 kilometres prior to the event starting. We have been with a new team who have been extremely good to work with. But Malaysia is full of surprises everywhere. Every corner's got a trap, whether it be a tree on the inside or a ditch on the outside or the rain and the mud and that sort of thing. But no, we'd sort of looked at it and we came up here and we thought we'd get in the first 8 or 9 would do very, very well, and we're rapt to be in the first 4, that's for sure.
Gill, as always, continues at unabated speed, but there seems to be nothing he can do to keep pace with Atkinson in the S2000 car. Second place, though, means good points in the bag, especially with 5 more championship rounds to go.
we are happy with our speed and our performance. Even though that we are second, I mean, we're still happy because as far as our speed's concerned, we're right up there. And the Super 2000 is obviously quicker. It just makes things more tough for us, I think, for the year ahead. And anyway, I mean, we've got a lot of points, which is the most important thing. It's a long championship, so we'll just put that in our kitty and go to the next round.
For Atkinson and the Proton team, it's the perfect finish to the weekend. Bringing the Satria home in first place on the Malaysian manufacturer's home event is a great start to the team's Asia-Pacific campaign. And with McRae's third spot on the podium, Proton is looking like a real outright contender for 2011.
Yeah, awesome job by the whole team. The car was awesome all weekend, really fast straight out of the first stage, which is nice, and we had the speed to win the event, and that's what we did, so it was great.
Yeah, I mean, a great result, first and third. Obviously, you can only go one better than that. We had the problem yesterday with overheating and drove accordingly to get the car to the end. But, you know, great result for the team. Proton's home event, couldn't have a better start to the year.
Proton is top of the leaderboard in all categories, led by a dominant win for Atkinson in the S2000 Satria. Further back, Bamba brings his less powerful Proton home to win the junior and two-wheel drive classes. Only 12 points cover the top three, while Sunkar's return on day two earns some valuable bonus points for fastest driver of the day. For Atkinson's co-driver Stefan Prevot, it's a double celebration. The Malaysian Rally is the Belgians' 300th international event. Prior to the start, teammate Bill Hayes talked to Prevot about his long rally career.
Hi, my name's Bill Hayes. I'm the co-driver for Alister McRae with the Proton Motorsport team. Here we are at the Rally Malaysia 2011. Pretty important weekend for everyone, obviously the first round of the year, but most importantly, the man standing behind me here, Stefan Prevot, his 300th rally as a professional co-driver. Very important weekend for you.
For us, you mean?
Yes, but specifically, how many rallies is this, Stefan?
This is the 300, so feeling a bit older today, but we're going to try to win this one as a present.
300 rallies, an amazing achievement. When did you start your career?
Well, it's not that much, as I started back in 87, so that's like 24 years ago.
You're showing your age very well then.
Yeah, 42, that's still all right. I'm still okay for a few years, Bill.
300 rallies made up of a lot of different events in a lot of different countries. How many WRCs included in that?
Must be like 157, something like that now.
157 WRCs. Just a few quick questions. Best rally car you've sat in?
Oh, there is a lot of them, but probably the Group A Subaru back in 96, 97. The Group A car was really good fun and quite in advance for his time.
And the most favourite rally?
Definitely New Zealand. And I'm happy we go again this year.
in particular because of the great flowing roads, or you just enjoy the people?
Yeah, no, the stages are definitely the best in the world. Rally Sweden is something special and really enjoyable as well with the snow, but I would say the characters of the roads and the stages in New Zealand is the best I've seen ever.
Best driver you've ever sat with?
Atkinson, of course.
Of course, because he's here. Okay, apart from Chris, the next best driver you've ever sat with?
Well, there is a lot of them. It's difficult to say. Bruno Thierry, I spent 12 years with him, was a really brilliant driver. Maybe just too old when he started his career. François Duval was also a very accurate driver as well. I did some historic stuff with people like Marco Allen or Björn Waldegard. They're really proper rally legends, but they're still able to push and they still can drive, I can tell you. So it's a lot of them, but I really like and enjoy to work with Chris because he's fast, of course, but really professional, and it's good fun as well.
Very good. So we've got the favourite car, favourite event, best result?
Best result? Probably Corsica 95 with Bruno Thierry, World Championship. We were leading from stage 1 to the start of the last stage, then the car broke down with a wheel bearing or something, so we did not finish that one, but somewhere it's like a victory still in my mind. I don't get it, unfortunately, but apart from that, I would say I'm quite proud with Finland 2008 with Chris when we finished third, and that's quite difficult to do there.
Very good effort to get on the podium there. How many times have you been on the podium in the WRC, Stefan?
21 times or something.
Unbelievable achievement. 300 rallies, where to from here? What box still needs to be ticked?
I have some historic stuff in Belgium and some WRC as well with Ford and Novikov. But priority is APRC with Chris and Proton this year, so I really enjoy it, especially with you and Alister and the team.
Stefan Prevost, on behalf of everyone involved in the APRC and especially all of us here at Proton Motorsport, congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
The next round is Rally Queensland on the Sunshine Coast of Australia. It's Atkinson's home event, so he'll surely be hard to beat.